turn 360, contact your counterparts today.
Keep it in tight, left turn 360 over departure.
Today, I wanted to do a bit of a recap of 2020. I know it's been an incredibly strange year, and it would be really easy to write it off as bad and just say, scrap it, but I think it's important to reflect and look back. I am definitely one of these more sentimental type people. I always spend time at the end of the year looking back and reflecting on the things that I was able to accomplish, the things I wasn't, and what I want for the next year. So I just wanted to take some time to recognize some of my personal highlights for both myself and for anyone who's interested in hearing about the things that I was able to do this year and some of my personal favorite highlights. I spent a lot of the first few months of the year flying a lot to warm destinations, places like California and whatnot, which I really enjoy as a reprieve from the Chicago winters. In February, my friend Christine and I were able to go to St. Augustine to fly with Patty for the first time. That was obviously a major highlight for me and one of my favorite moments of the whole year. It was my first time getting to really delve deeper into aerobatics, and clearly I'm hooked. It was a really fun trip that I love looking back on. A few weeks after that, in March, I had the privilege of attending the Women in Aviation Conference in Orlando. I love going to the Women in Aviation Conference every year. I used to be president of the Chicago chapter of Women in Aviation, and so it's just an organization that I hold dear. I was awarded a Women in Aviation scholarship when I was in flight training, so yeah, I just love it. And the conference is always so much fun. And this year at the conference, I was asked to be on a panel with NBAA talking about myths of business aviation. So that was really cool because it was my first real opportunity as a professional to give my perspective on things and offer my insight or opinion to a group at such a conference of, other professional aviators, students. It was just a really cool experience. I traveled back from the Women in Aviation Conference on March 8th, I believe. And soon after that, things drastically changed. I know I don't really need to go into the particulars of how crazy that was for all of us. I was also fortunate to come up with the idea for this YouTube channel and my blog during those months of sitting at home and not doing much else. That was obviously a really positive thing to come out of it for me, and I'm so grateful for this creative outlet and to be able to share my stories, my experiences, my flying adventures, and going forward into the future to be able to just document all of the things that I'm hoping to pursue. As summer was wrapping up, I spent a lot of time lamenting all of the air shows I didn't get to go to. That was really hard for me this year because that's one of my favorite parts of summer. Then in early fall, I returned to St. Augustine for more aerobatics, which was fantastic. I didn't get to fly quite as much as I would have hoped due to weather, so I'm looking forward to going back again soon and hopefully doing some more competition-centric training. I spent more time outdoors, which I loved this year, and that's something I really want to take into the next few years. A couple of cool outdoor adventures nearby in Illinois, hiking Starved Rock. In October, my husband was able to join me on a work trip to Jackson Hole where we went hiking at Grand Teton National Park. And then in November, I went to Joshua Tree National Park with my best friend on a trip that we had planned. We had actually planned to run the Joshua Tree half marathon with some other friends. The half marathon was canceled, but we went anyway and went hiking and camped, and it was so much fun. Some other more professional highlights I had this year, I was able to be on 2 podcasts. I was on the Allie on the Run show, which is a popular running podcast, and I love running. And I was able to be a part of her On the Job series, speaking with women with unique and interesting jobs. That was a real highlight for me because I've been a longtime fan of her podcast, and so to be a guest was great. I'll link the episode down below if you're interested, if you want to give it a listen. And also, my friend Christine and I were on the Spread Aviation podcast with our friends Rob and Matt, which was great fun, and we talked a lot about our experiences flying aerobatics with Patty at her school. I'll also link that one down below. I would highly recommend you go give those a listen. Another exciting development was I was able to join the NBAA Young Professionals Council as they opened up spots again for council seats. And I've really enjoyed being a part of the council, and I really look forward to all of the interesting work we have planned for the coming year. Overall, I'm pleased with how this year went, all things considered. It's definitely not what I thought it would be. I'm sure none of us thought it would be anything like this, but I think I took a lot of good out of bad situations and being dealt unexpected hands of things. I am proud of the things I was able to do, and I am thankful that I had so many cool opportunities in the midst of a year that has been so not ideal in so many ways. What are some cool things that you guys were able to do this year? In the comments down below, I'd love to hear your proudest accomplishment or favorite experience you were able to have this year. I know that they might have been fewer and more far between than in years past, but for the most part, they were still there, and I think it's good to recognize those special moments for what they are. Okay, I'm gonna sign off before I get too cheesy here. I hope you guys had a great end to your year, set some scary goals for 2021, and hopefully we can all look forward to accomplishing more things and having more experiences and getting back to some semblance of normal at some point. I just want to say, as I close out my first few months of posting here on YouTube, I so appreciate everyone who has watched my videos and taken the time to comment and subscribe. It means so much to me to have any amount of people with me on this journey, and I really appreciate all of you. So thank you so much for watching this year. I have some really fun and exciting things planned for next year, and I hope you'll come along for the journey. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next year.